Can this new device help improve your darts game? Hello Darts Nuts, welcome to the Darts Review channel. So what is this? Well, this is a device that was developed by a guy called Stuart Huggins, and he's a darts coach. So he's come up with this, which is called the Sidekick Pro Hub Standard. There's two versions, a Pro Hub Standard and Pro Hub XL. Sidekick Sports is the name of his company, and this is something that you place at the oche and it allows you to get a consistent foot placement. So basically it's a training aid for developing a consistent stance. Now it's made of fairly thick, what I think is sheet steel, so it is quite heavy and solidly made. So I'm going to put it down because my arms are a bit achy. So like I said, that's the standard version, and the difference between the standard and the XL is the standard is 600mm and the XL is 800mm. The XL version is mainly for people who've got a wider stance. The standard version retails for £99 and the XL version £109. Now when he first told me the prices, I thought it sounds a bit expensive, that like. But upon reflection and getting the device, it's probably about the right price really, because you got to think of a few things here. Firstly, it's a new company making quite a niche product, so they're probably not making it in massive volumes, and it is quite well designed and constructed. So like I say, it is probably a fair price, but you've also got to think if it does help you improve your darts and help you get a more consistent stance at the oche, then it's money well spent. So I guess you can look at it that way as well. But I think this device will probably come into its own for people like Stuart himself, who's a darts coach, and it might be useful for like dart academies training youngsters or adults as well. But there's no reason why it's not going to be good for individuals who are just wanting to improve at home. The only difference is if you're using it yourself, you may have to have a little bit more of a messing about trying to set it up and all that, whereas if you've got somebody with you, they can alter the feet placement guides, but it's no big deal, it's easy enough to do. But the only way you'll know the results is obviously by what's happening where the darts are landing, and I suppose that's where there's a little bit of an issue, because obviously your stance is a very important part of the whole throw, but it's not the only part. Obviously the way you throw the darts, the way you hold them, release, all that, it's all kind of connected, so you have to get everything right really. But I would say that your stance is quite a fundamental important part, and everything else kind of works off from that. So if you're consistently standing in the right spot all the time and your starts are still not going right, then you know it's not your stance that's the problem, like your position, it's obviously something else. So in that way it's probably a good thing. If you remember, I did a review on the, what was it, the triple 20 shoes quite a while ago, and they've got like kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, like polygon edges. It's kind of like weird edges around the sole of the shoe which allow you to put your foot against the oche. Now that I thought was quite a good idea, and it did let you get your front foot in the right spot each time. The only thing for me was the angles weren't quite right the way I naturally put my foot. This one should be better in that respect, because you can go from 0 degrees to 90 degrees, but also this one allows you to get your back foot in the right spot as well. So it works for both your feet on this. But as you know, I've had a dodgy elbow, so I'm not really sure how effective anything's going to be for me at the moment, because it doesn't matter where I stand, I think I'm still going to have problems with this part because of the elbow. So what I'm going to do is I'll give you a close look at it and I'll show you how it goes together, and then I'll kind of demonstrate it on the oche and show you how it works. But if you've already got one yourself and you've used it, let us know from your own feedback, make a comment, and it's always useful to hear what other people think. But let's check it out. Well, I'll just show you everything that you get in the pack. Now, first of all, I had to print the instruction sheet off because he accidentally forgot to send me it, but you will get a properly printed quality construction sheet. There's also a Sidekick Sport sticker. I don't think these are meant to be anything because they're not on the parts list and they don't fit anything, so I don't know if that's just something sent to me by mistake. I don't know what it is, to be honest. And there's the 4 magnet holders, which will make sense just now. They're to go on the alignment guides. And there's the 4 very powerful magnets, which I can't separate like that, only by sliding. I'm always a bit wary I'm going to rip my skin when they clang together. And you got 4 screws which are for the magnet holders. Again, I'll show you just now how they go together. And there's some little rubber stickers in there for putting on the bottom of the alignment guides. You've got this measuring sticker which goes in the middle of the base plate, and that's just to kind of like help you set up the angles, which may be more as a reference point, I think, so you know where you've moved it to and what have you. And there's these 2 neoprene stickers and rubber stickers. So what they're for is if you want to use the base plate on, say, like a wooden floor like what I am, and you don't want to screw it in, then you can stick them on that and it should keep it in place. And you've got the 2 alignment guides, the short one for the front foot and the long one for the back foot. So I'll keep the short one to the side for now because I'm going to show you the magnets go on in a minute. And then the base plate itself, now if you've already got an existing oche, if you look, you've got a hole there, so you can screw that up to your existing oche, or if you want you can screw it onto the floor, or like I said, you can use it with the neoprene stickers, and you can use that as an oche as itself. But when you've got it up against another oche, obviously you've got about 2 mil there, so it's hardly going to make much difference to the length of the oche really, 2 mil. I mean, your socks or your shoes could make that difference. But that's everything that you get. So now I'll show you how the magnet holders go onto the alignment guides. Right, so when you've got the alignment guide, you've got your magnet holder, and these are kind of like being 3D printed, so they go in the squares there. It's fairly tight fit, but I think it needs to be so it stays secure. So then the magnet goes on underneath, and again it's a nice snug fit, but it doesn't go completely flush to that, but I don't think it's meant to. Or does it? I mean, I can't push it in any further, I don't think. I think that's as far as it will go, but I don't really think it's meant to in any case, because the rubber stickers go on either side, so the little round rubber stickers go on each side of the square, but the screw goes in the top there. Now, it doesn't come with an Allen key and mark it, but whether or not you'll get one, I don't know. But I'll use my own in any case. But anyway, that's basically how the magnets fit on. And then when you set it up, what you're supposed to do then, because it comes with 4 magnets, but as you can see you've got 3 holes, so you set the magnets to wherever it's going to get the most adherence to the base plate. So obviously if you were outside the edge there, you would have it on them too. You wouldn't put the magnet on that if it's outside the base plate area. And that is how that goes. So I'll get everything set up properly, and then I'll put it on the floor and show you how you align it up to your feet. Alright, so I've got the Pro Hub set up. I've got the neoprene strips underneath. Now, with them things on, if you actually try and push it with your foot, it doesn't seem to move at all. If I try and pull it, it's not moving. Try to push it and pull it that way, it doesn't seem to move. But if I kick it, it moves. So I think what's happening there is the fact that I'm putting pressure on it is obviously stopping it from moving. But when there's nothing to keep the weight on it and you kick it, then yeah, it'll move. So I'll just see if I can move it that way. Yeah, but if you try and move it while you've got weight on, it seems to stay put. So well, that's a good thing, I suppose. But But obviously if you accidentally kick it and you're going backwards and forwards, then you may move it, so you'll just have to make sure you don't kick it basically. Or you can screw it into the floor if you don't want to use the neoprene strips. Now I've put the magnets in and I've screwed it on. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me have a look. Yeah, you can. So once I put the screws in, it did tighten up the magnets and they're more flush with the magnet holders. I've also put them rubber stickers on now. One thing I got slightly wrong is the long one is called the toe alignment guide and the short one is called the angle guide. So I'll give you a rough demonstration of what you're meant to do. So as you come up to the oche for your normal throw, just stand in your normal position. So whatever your normal position is, you stand there and then you get the toe alignment guide and you line that up with your toes, and then you get the other one, the angle guide, and you line that up to the side of your foot, or depending on how you're positioned, it could be on the inside of your foot. So for this one I've put it on the outside, but I could easily put it on the inside as well, I guess. I'd have to change the position of the magnets, and that's what I was talking about before. So I'm just going to stick to that outside angle. So that is how you basically do it. Obviously if you stand in different ways, like if you stand like parallel to the oche, then you'd put that on the inside, and wherever this goes, that would be lined up to both of your toes. So now I wouldn't stand like that though, because that feels uncomfortable, but somebody might. So what I'm going to do next then is I'm going to have a couple of throws at the board, and then I'll put the oche position to how I'm standing, and then I'll just see what happens when I start moving it around and changing to different positions. So I'll keep the camera on there and I'll get the camera set up on the board. Right, so I've got it set up, and hopefully this is somewhere near where my normal stance is. Oh, so that wasn't too bad there, so maybe I've got it in the right spot, or maybe it was just a fluke, so I'll have another throw just to see. Oh, I hit my hand that last one, I don't know why. But you're probably going to have quite a few throws just to make sure. So this is why I say it still involves a degree of trial and error. But I think I'm pretty close there, so obviously with my throw being iffy anyway, it's not going to be doing the best, but the little guide things there, they seem to stay put when you're just being careful putting your feet in place. But I think if you give it a proper kick, then it's going to move. But I think the thing, if you do that, you can also look at the markings on this measuring thingy, so if you know where it was, you can move it back. But I think you still have to be a little bit careful not to give it a kick, because obviously it's going to move when you do that. Just for the sake of trying it there, I'm just going to put it in a completely different position to what I'd normally. Don't know, what can I do? I'll try a square stance. So I'll have that there, and that would probably go there. So see what happens now. This feels really uncomfortable. I actually stand like that years ago, but I had to stop it because it would cause a pain in my knee. Hear my ankle click. So again, it's just allowing me to get my position in the same spot again. Now I'm trying to overcompensate there, I think. Oh, so it's probably not doing quite as well there as it was in what I consider to be my normal stance. But with your normal stance, obviously you're still going to have to judge by where the darts are going, and if you need to alter it, probably best to just change little bits at a time and then seeing what happens. But there you go, basically that is it. So it's probably quite a useful thing, but whether or not it's something that people would want to use, I just don't know. Well, you just tell me what you think about it. I mean, it does do what it's supposed to do, helps you get a consistent position each time, as long as you don't do something clumsy and kick it and what have you. But I don't know if it's really going to help me in my own circumstances, because I've got other problems with my throw. But if you don't have any other problems like I do, this is at least giving you something where you can repeat your stance each time. So I suppose in that respect it's a good idea. But is it something that you would buy? I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you think about it. So that's the end of the video. I'll see you on the next one. Happy darting.